Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. Today we're going to go over stingers, struts, the differences in different struts and stingers, bushings, sleeve bushings, bearings, Speedmaster style bushings, the basis for them, you know, kind of go over several different topics in this video. It could be daunting, it could be troublesome, like, you know, trying to figure out what you need for your boat, you know. So I'm gonna kind of help you guys out, you know. It might be a long video. I got quite a bit of stuff to go over here. What to look for if your stinger or strut bushing is going bad, okay, kind of go over how to replacement, what you'll need to replacement type deal, and the boats that the strut or stingers may be good for. So stick around, you guys. Big B with Ironclad RC.
Pull trigger.
So this is a video I've been wanting to do for a while, you guys. I've been wanting to show you guys the differences. I got all these struts. I was kind of going through some bins, organizing, and I figured I'd go ahead and do it while I had everything like out and handy. Okay. I figured I'd show you guys like on the bench here, and I'll kind of like cut in some pictures of stingers or struts on some of my boats. Okay. So bear with me. All right. So you basically got two different styles. You got a stinger, which is basically this row. Okay, when I think of stinger, I think of something like these two right here. Okay, you typically only see stingers on a monohull. Okay, with exceptions. Okay, this style stinger right here, this is a low profile extended stinger. This is on a twin motor catamaran. These get mounted under the underhang on a catamaran. Okay, I actually had this one on a monohull. It worked. Stingers actually come in several different orientation and configurations, shapes and sizes. They've got basic ones like this, okay, just kind of up and down angle. They've got short barrel, they got long barrel, they've got adjustable barrels that will actually screw in and screw out. You can adjust the length of the barrel. They've got stingers that are actually servo operated. You can on the fly with your radio adjust the positive and negative thrust, okay, for like 1/4 inch shafts. They've got stingers for 4mm shafts, 3/16 shafts, 1/4 inch. You know, these are like a stinger strut mix. It's kind of like a hybrid style strut stinger deal. You know, they've got stingers with bushings. They got stingers with sleeve bushings. Yeah, there's several different options you can choose from. All right, then you have a strut style strut. All right, now these actually, you could put these on basically any boat out there. Okay, RC boats, they basically started off using struts. Okay, they used struts on RC boats until about, I guess, about 25-30 years ago. They came out with the stinger. Okay, now a stinger, like I said, it's basically for a monohull. Okay, and it's basically reigned supreme on a monohull since they've come out with this guy right here. The bad thing about a stinger, you can't adjust the height on the transom. Okay, wherever you put this stinger at on the transom, it's locked in place, and all you can adjust is the positive and negative thrust. You got me? This style strut right here, all right, your traditional strut, you can actually adjust the height of the strut. Okay, this strut bar moves up and down in the base. You can adjust the height the strut is on your transom. Okay, typically you adjust the height on a catamaran and hydroplane. Okay, like with a monohull, if you install a flooded stuffing tube, which is not very common and is something I've been meaning to do for you guys, a flooded stuffing tube on a monohull, you can actually adjust the height of your strut. Okay, you can get different length brackets. All right, you can make your own brackets like I have. Okay, I've actually modified this strut. This was a round bottom strut that I made flat bottom for one of my boats. Struts can come in different barrel lengths. Okay, you get like a short barrel, you can get a long barrel, you can get like a hydroplane tapered barrel. Okay, they're very, very versatile. Okay, different shapes, as you can see. This one's about as basic as you can get. Okay, a single little bushing. It just basically holds the stuffing tube in place, one little bushing on your shaft. Versatile, very versatile. It can be basically, this style can be mounted up, like I said, on any boat. Any boat. You can make brackets, different brackets. You can get, yeah, they're very versatile. Okay. Now, for each type here, okay, and I'm sure there's more to it. All right, I'm just kind of lightly touching base here. All right. Now, this strut right here actually carries a bearing. Okay, you got a flanged bearing, a spacer, and then a bearing that goes on the inner part that actually supports your shaft. Okay, the shaft would actually be riding on two bearings. Personally, I don't really care for bearings because they're small. They're small bearings, and they actually are more prone to go bad than, say, a sleeve style Teflon infused bushing. Okay, these are common. These are very common. You find these on most any style strut. You know, it's going to have, more than likely have a Teflon bushing, sleeve style bushing, like this right here. They actually insert it into, there's usually two. There's usually one like right here that actually stops your stuffing tube. Okay, and then you have one on the very end, as you can see right here. I got an example right here. Hopefully I can get it out. This is the TFL style strut, or stinger, excuse me. And it's got the Teflon infused bushing. All right, you just use like a retaining compound and lock that bad boy in there. There's one right here, and there's one about right in here somewhere. Okay, now these they're actually good. They're actually like low wear part that doesn't need to be replaced very often, if ever. Okay, if you run a lot of out of balance propellers, or you just got a lot of wear, a lot of run time on your boat, you'll start to see some slop in it, like that right there. Okay, and Octera offers a couple different sizes. 3/16, 4mm, 1/4 inch, and you just basically lock it in there. All right, and then you've got what I like to call a Speedmaster style bushing. Okay, this is more of a Speedmaster style bushing right here. All right, this is an old Aquacraft bushing. This is a Pro Boat bushing, but it's basically works the same way as a Speedmaster bushing. All right, what these do, they basically ride in the stuffing tube. Okay, they can be pulled out and serviced, greased up, and put back in your drive line. Okay, they basically sit, some of them sit on the outside of your strut like that. Some of them sit recessed in your stinger or strut. And personally, I find that these are the best. This is what I like to run. Okay, they actually rotate with the shaft. Okay, you get a little bit more friction with this style bushing, but if it's properly lubricated, you won't tell a difference in this or this. Okay, I like these. All right, I like the fact that I can pull it out, inspect it, put it back in, and opposed to a Teflon sleeve bushing, because it's locked in there. The only way you can inspect this guy right here is basically, you know, just kind of wiggle your shaft back and forth, and you can see how much movement there is. You want a nice tight fit, you know. Yeah, you want a nice tight fit. You don't want a whole bunch of slop in it. A lot of guys, they love using the bearings, you know. They swear by the bearings. But personally, I found bearings, you've got to keep them oiled. You can't run them in salt water or brackish water. You got to basically run these bad boys in fresh water. If you run them in salt water, you've got to service them. You got to lube them up extremely good, or you're going to stand a chance of the bearing locking up or explode. Okay, and then you'll have little ball bearings floating around in your drive line. The drive line won't be supported, and you'll have a lot of trouble, maybe a lot of noise, you know. So that's kind of why I like to steer away from bearings. So I've actually got a couple boats I'm going to show you now. Okay, I got a couple different, like a strut strutter. I've got an inline strut that I want to show you guys. It takes up a little bit less real estate, Z style. Got a couple stingers I want to show you that have adjustability, like on the barrel type deal. So I'm gonna pull a couple boats down. Go. Full trigger. Oh, that was cool. That was landed. We landed it. That was freaking awesome. You have a strutter. It's a strut. It's a strut rudder. Okay, this is a dummy outboard that uses a strut rudder combination with a U-joint and a hard shaft to a hard shaft. Okay, this is commonly found on F1 style boats, P1 racing boats, you know, and these are pretty cool. I kind of like these. The only downfall to this is you don't have any positive or negative adjustability, no up and down adjustability, and you're basically set in that one position. It's locked in. That's what you got. Okay, so that's another category for us. Okay, like on my water bobber right here. All right, you've got an inline strut stinger orientation. Okay, it takes up a low amount of real estate. You can run your rudder inline with your propeller. Okay, unlike a stinger on the other hand has to be offset. Okay, you have to run your rudder offset from the drive line. All right, like this stinger right here, it's got its advantages over a standard stinger without an adjustable barrel. This one right here, this barrel will actually unscrew. Okay, and you can adjust the length of your barrel. Okay, set the length of your barrel off the transom. Whereas this stinger right here, it's basically locked in place. Okay, you only got that length, and that's it. Okay, TFL makes a power stinger that uses a servo on the inside of the boat to adjust your positive and negative thrust. So we've got these very fancy struts with the long brackets and long nose cone, flat bottom options, and then you've got basically about the most basic strut you can get right here. Okay, this came off of my pro boat, Blackjack 24. Okay, this was the stock strut. It's basically only has one sleeve bushing in it. Okay, you guys see that? It don't have a nose cone. See how these have nose cones? Okay, so I've upgraded this strut to an Aquacraft strut. Okay, the Aquacraft strut actually has a Speedmaster style bushing like this. All right, and it sits in my stuffing tube like that on the Blackjack 24. Okay, and the shaft spins inside the strut as the bushing is spinning with the strut. Okay, like I said, I like that style strut. To me, I think that's the best. Got a nice tapered barrel right there. Definitely an upgrade compared to the stock strut that came on it. Like I said, it's about as basic as you can get. So I actually wanted to show you guys this. Okay, this is a round bottom, short barreled strut that I've mounted up on my monohull here. The strut's actually a little bit big for this boat, but with the big mounting base, I've got my top screws that actually hold the strut in place, and I used the bottom two mounting holes to mount up water cooling. You guys see how I got water cooling on both sides of the strut, and it actually has a grease fitting on the strut barrel for ease of maintenance. Okay, I can basically got a little tube. I put on my grease syringe here, and I squirt some grease in there. Boom, 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 ready to roll. Okay, so you know, man, I could keep going. I could keep going, you guys. It's there's so many variations, so many different ways you can use a strut. So basically, I'm gonna close it up. Okay, I wanted to show you guys this one variation real quick of how you could use a strut with a hydroplane. Or a rigger, really a rigger. Hydroplanes typically will run like maybe a rear ski back here, but you can actually build a ski under or to house your strut, and the boat will actually ride on that ski right there, okay, opposed to it riding on the propeller and the strut alone. Now, there's a lot of debate. A lot of guys will argue with you till they're blue in the face that a flat bottom and a round bottom strut, there's no real difference. You know, the boat's basically going to ride on the propeller opposed to it riding on the bottom of the strut. Okay, that brings me to this example. This is a flat bottom strut that I actually filed down. It was a round bottom and I filed it flat, you know, on my first rigger build. You know, I filed it flat, so, you know, with the intentions of the boat riding or adding a third, 1, 2, 3, a third ride surface like the ski. I was hoping it would act as a ski. Looking back now, it really didn't act as a ski. So, you know, I actually run a flat bottom on my Blackjack 42, and it does amazing. It actually helps, I personally think it helps hold the boat down. Debatable, yeah, but that's my thoughts. Okay, so that's just a different way you could use them. So I'm going to wrap it up. I kind of went over the bushings, the bearings, the sleeve bushings, the differences. I showed you guys several examples of how you could use a strut, added water cooling, the benefits of a stinger, benefits of a strut, the takeaways, the downfalls of a stinger strut on any particular hull. So, you know, we went over strutters, straight shafts. Hopefully you guys took something from it, man. I actually took me all freaking day to film this video. I wanted to work on my drag boat, but I had to have a video out for you guys. So you guys might not see a video for a couple days. I'm about to actually work on the ride surface of this boat. You know, I've got it kind of mocked up how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to work. Once I start it, I'm not going to stop till it's done. Okay, so hopefully this helps you guys out. Okay, hopefully it helps you guys out, shine some light on a subject that's not really covered. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe. If you liked the video, please like, because it definitely helps the video get out to a broader audience. So hope you guys enjoyed it.